Most accurate forecast with Thomas Geboy. Weather rates certified 11 years in a row.
All right, after such a splendid week of weather, now comes the change. Thomas?
Yep, it was only a matter of time, and we talked about it. It was only going to be a matter of time before Mother Nature decided to change her mind. Today, an absolutely beautiful day. We had plenty of sunshine, but now that we're going into tonight, we're already starting to see more cloud coverage in northern Utah, and there is a strong cold front now working its way through the Pacific Northwest, and by tomorrow, it's going to be working its way across the Beehive State. We already have winter storm warnings, winter storm watches, and also winter weather advisories for just about all the higher terrain in the Beehive State, where in northern Utah, in our northern Utah mountains, we could pick up between 8 to 18 inches of snow, and we could see higher amounts in the upper Cottonwood Canyons and the high Uintas. Meanwhile, our southern mountains could pick up between 6 and 12, and the Wasatch Back, we could see anywhere from 2 to 6, and some spots getting closer to 8 and possibly even 10 inches of snow around portions around Park City, especially in the higher elevations around Park City, and this is going to lead to winter road impacts, especially above 7,000 and 8,000 feet. So that's something you're going to want to keep in mind by the second half of the day tomorrow into Saturday night. We're also going to see some very strong winds across the state, but the strongest winds are likely going to be in northeast Nevada and the southern two-thirds of the Beehive State, where we have multiple wind advisories and even a high wind warning. Dangerous crosswinds on the possibility on those east to west routes. We could see some power outages, so now would be a very good time to tie down any loose objects like those Halloween decorations, because especially in southwestern Utah with that high wind warning, we could see gusts up to and maybe even more than 60 miles per hour, and that high wind warning does include places like Cedar City, most of Iron County, and most of western Beaver County as well. Right now, though, things are relatively calm. We have started to see a little bit more in the way of cloud coverage, but it just looks fantastic from Sundance right now. And temperatures, they're very comfortable. It's 67 degrees in Logan, it's 60 degrees in Salt Lake City, 51 in Provo, and 65 degrees in St. George. And the overnight lows tonight are going to be pretty mild, especially compared to where we have been, and just a little bit warmer compared to last night. But look at the daytime highs in northern Utah, 63 in Salt Lake, and I think that's going to happen before midday. Once we get into the afternoon, when that cold front passes, temperatures will be cooling. It's going to take a little while longer for the cold front to reach southern Utah. So if you're in southern Utah, south of I-70, your chance for wet weather will start to increase once we get from the afternoon into our Saturday night, with the best chance in southern Utah really being Saturday night into early on Sunday morning. So you might see some sunshine throughout the day tomorrow, but you could also see some areas of blowing dust. Let's go ahead and begin the Futurecast midnight tonight. And as we go through tonight, you'll notice that wet weather get closer and closer. And by daybreak tomorrow, we'll be looking at those showers moving into northern Utah. Since it's going to be so warm, we're going to start off with valley rain, mountain snow, with likely the mountain snow being above 8,000 feet. But once the cold front passes you by, it's going to cool off in a hurry. But notice what happens as we go from the afternoon into Saturday night. Showers spread across the entire Beehive State. And I think at midnight on Sunday, that's where we're really going to have the best chance across the entire state. And by Sunday afternoon, the wet weather will start to leave southern Utah, but with the cooler air moving into northern Utah with the possibility of some lake effect, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some snow even down to the Wasatch Front. Now, while there's a chance for some minor accumulations, any accumulations would mainly be on elevated surfaces, grassy surfaces, so not really looking to be too much of an issue, but it's a chance nonetheless, and it's always notable when we at least have that chance. And by the time we get into Monday, high pressure settles in briefly, all ahead of what could be another system moving in by the time we get into the middle of next week. But here's a look at the Futurecast precipitation across the state. Everybody's going to have at least a chance of picking up some wet weather with, again, mainly valley rain and mountain snow. But this particular Futurecast optimistic that we could at least see some snow along the Wasatch Front. So putting it all together with the snowfall forecast, the northern mountains, I'm thinking anywhere between 8 to 16. Of course, isolated higher amounts are going to be a possibility, especially if the colder air moves in quicker. Central and southern mountains between 5 and 10. The high Cottonwood Canyons, the high Uintas between 14 and 22. The Wasatch Back between 3 and 8. Central and southern mountain valleys anywhere from rain to 4. So kind of a big spread there. The northern benches could pick up anywhere from a trace to 5 inches of snow. The Wasatch Front could be left with rain or possibly as high as 3 inches depending on how cold it gets. Meanwhile, for those of you down in St. George, it's predominantly just going to be rain, but the temperatures, that's also going to be a very big story. And this is kind of what I was talking about on Saturday morning, likely going to be in the lower 60s here in Salt Lake. But notice what happens as we go through the afternoon. We'll be lucky to get out of the 40s, and then that colder air moving down into southern Utah, going to be quite cold as we start Sunday morning, possibly in the middle 30s along the Wasatch Front, upper 40s in St. George, and could be below freezing in Cedar City. And those daytime highs on our Sunday likely going to be at least 10 to 15 degrees below our seasonal averages. In St. George, that chance for wet weather will increase as we go through the day. The chance for showers will be best from Saturday night into Sunday morning. And on Sunday, we might not even get to 60, dropping to the upper 30s on Monday morning. And then definitely a cooler stretch of weather with bringing back a slight chance by Thursday. And along the Wasatch Front, mainly rain showers for our Saturday. But as we cool things down, we could see some rain and snow showers by the time we get into Sunday. A high temperature of only 45 could see our first freeze of the season by Monday morning, and then daytime highs stay below average with a better chance for wet weather going into the middle of the week. Now it's time for sports.